I'll put these chopsticks away just so I can just sip on the
Have a soup ASMR for maybe for Patreon exclusive. I'll cut out only when you're sipping on the soup and put out that cut. It's the director's cut.
That is the best cup noodle. Like they just started, not just started, maybe like, because I haven't seen this flavor available on Kauai's until like recent years. Is the seafood cup noodle.
Oh, it's like the cup noodle brand one?
Yeah, cup noodle brand.
Is that Maruchan?
No, it's just regular cup noodle, but like it's a seafood flavor. It's Nissin cup noodle, but it's like the seafood flavor. I've always liked the shrimp flavor of a cup noodle, but seafood takes it up to a whole nother level, man. It's good stuff. I went to college. I know a thing or two about cup noodles.
High class cup noodle.
Seafood, baby. It's pretty good.
That's a joke too, right? Where it's like, you know that they use cup noodle in prisons as a currency.
They do, like, I bet.
Depending on what kind you can get, it's worth more. Get the seafood one. Oh, that's high bucks right there.
Yeah, seafood cup. Have you guys tried the seafood one?
No.
Dude, it's good. It's good. Sometimes I'll catch them like stocking it, and it's like still in like the box, or the that it comes in, because it's like you buy it individually, of course, just the individual cups, but then like it comes in like a 6-pack like box. I'll just grab the box like straight from the person stocking it, and I'll grab like 3-4 boxes.
Save me some time. I can carry it all.
Hell yeah! Because I'm not about to pay 10 cents a bag at Walmart, man. Are you kidding me? Just give me the box. Do this like Costco style. Just give me some boxes, and I'll take I'll take it off your hands. All right, let's start this. Start this shit.
Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pastime Paradise podcast. I am your host, Aaron, and with me are my co-hosts,
Aldrine Guerrero
and Kahai Fergan.
And we're just here to talk story, basically.
I don't know why I said it like that. Maybe I was trying to go for an act like Guerrero. Guerrero.
Now that sounds authentic. That sounds like somebody I can trust.
Like Ben Cayetano.
That's somebody
if there's
who knows
a name I can trust.
Yeah.
That's somebody I can trust with their cup noodle, with my cup noodle choices.
Oh hell yeah, seafood, baby. I remember back in like the 90s and stuff, like when Ben Cayetano was like a thing, like for governor. I distinctly remember like the Filipino community like not really knowing like what policies he had or like what he did, but I think the name was just like, that's a name I can trust and remember and pronounce.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, no hate on Ben, because I was too young to notice any kind of significant differences that like any of his policies made. And I swear we're not talking politics here, but it was just kind of funny that like being in the Filipino community, that was like that was a hearsay.
Yeah.
That's I'll probably just vote for Ben Cayetano just because that was the name.
Yeah, I've heard my Japanese grandma say that it's like, oh, I think I'm gonna vote for that person because they have a Japanese last name. It's like, grandma, don't you want to know what they're gonna do though? It's like, oh, I don't know, like, yeah.
Oh, what's funny is that back in the day, I guess the 90s, there's like Joanne Yukimura ran for ran for mayor and stuff, and she ran for like council. I don't really know, but like Mr. Yukimura was like my teacher, which is her brother, but I didn't really know who she is, but she goes to my church now. Like she's like the nicest person. So like if I was and she's still pretty active, like as far as like doing stuff for the community and helping out and whatever. I don't know if she's if she advises or whatever, but she's still pretty active. She does she does a lot of like political stuff still, which is pretty insane. But she's like the nicest person. Like back in the day, I'm like, I don't know who that is. It's not a Filipino name that I ever recognize. My parents never talked about her, but now I'm like, hey, she's pretty cool. Like I would have voted,
Yeah.
Before it was just name recognition.
Yeah. What's other like Tejada, something like that. That was another one that like that my parents were like, okay, I recognize that name.
One of my neighbors is a politician too, so it's like, oh yeah, I always see her sign, around. It's like, okay, yeah.
Which one's your neighbor?
Nakamura.
Oh,
Nadine Nakamura.
Nadine. Yeah. Is it Nadine or Nadine?
Nadine. Yeah.
I recognize that name.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
Doesn't kind of in a funny twist though, isn't like what we're talking about kind of what we're planning to talk about today, right?
I guess,
which is
tangentially related, but I guess that's this entire show is tangents, right? Yeah.
We'll find our way there eventually.
So, yeah. So today's topic is gonna be we're basically it's the kind of like a nostalgia episode. Although like all of our episodes are kind of nostalgia episodes, but just talking about what it was like to grow up on Kauai. Like what, especially hobbies, because the show is kind of about hobbies and fads that you experienced as an elementary schooler, a middle schooler, high schooler, growing up on Kauai. So yeah, I think there are some cultural fads that were happening in like the 90s and early 2000s when we were growing up that happened like, I guess, nationwide, but there were some fads that happened like basically only in Hawaii or maybe only on Kauai. So, or Kauai, if we're being particular, but yeah. So, are there any that you guys remember, or what do you guys wanna? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I remember. Do you guys remember Jitter Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember begging my parents for a Jitter Ring, but like never got one because they took one look at it and they were like, I'm not buying this, because back in there it was like $20 for one, for like a Jitter Ring. And what a Jitter Ring is, for those people that don't know, is a like a circle metal thing. So it's basically a ring, a humongous ring.
Yeah,
and
it was about
like
the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a solid kind of steel or like stainless steel ring.
Yeah, stainless steel ring, and like what you would see like magicians, like put link together and unlink. And that's basically it.
I almost feel like that is what it is, and then somebody was just like, we can use this for something else,
And they put like tiny little rings like in onto the ring, like it's kind of like cogs. It was basically, or right,
like a bolt, or
yeah, like a bolt, like, and it goes around the thing, and you basically make it like jitter. You make it what would be, I don't even know how to describe this thing, and it would basically like make noise around the ring. So those tiny rings make noise around the big ring, and you can do tricks and stuff. It's kind of like a yo-yo basically. And I remember begging my parents for one. It's like the biggest fad. I remember back when I was like in middle school, so 7th or 8th grade. And yeah, my parents took one look at it and they said no. And I was like, well, if if you guys aren't gonna buy me one, then I'll just save up some money and buy you and buy myself like a Jitter Ring. But it took me so long because like my parents never gave me like an allowance or anything, so it took me so long to scrunch up the money to get a Jitter Ring, that by the time that I got it, it was like not cool anymore, and I was like the one guy that was still doing it. So I missed the fad completely. But I remember I found like 2-3 other people that were still doing it, and we did it for like the rest of the year. But no, even though it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of like, I sort of have a similar story because like it like a lot of school fads, they just like pop up and all of a sudden everyone has one.
Yeah.
I don't even know where people were getting them from. but yeah, my dad, I guess like during that time, my parents didn't buy me one. But my dad was working for the county, and one of his co-workers had a son who had one, who played with it enough where it broke. Like he must have dropped it or like thrown it at something, and like the outer ring actually broke. And so my dad took it, and he like, because my dad can weld, he welded it back together and then he gave it to me. And so for a long time I had a Jitter Ring that was like, it was pretty good. Like his welding skills are like pretty on point. So it was slightly discolored in one part of the ring, but like it was perfectly round. I don't know how my dad like rebent it into shape and like welded it perfectly. But yeah, that was the one that I used for like a long time.
Yeah, man. I mean, like back in the day, $20 is a lot, and I remember it distinctly being $20. Like it was like at a Long's Drugs. I remember like seeing the Jitter Ring, or maybe it was just $20 at Long's or whatever. You know, maybe it was cheaper somewhere else. But I distinctly remember it being $20. And back in the '90s, that's kind of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there was this kid. I remember I didn't have one, but my neighbors, I would like, you know, I would play with or borrow my neighbor's one. I was neighbors with my friend Seth and his neighbor Corey. We would hang out, and they would kind of like show me some stuff. And I remember Corey would say that like, hey, if you drag the tiny rings on like on the dirt, because of like it creates a little bit more friction or makes it slower, you can actually do the tricks easier, therefore leading to like more complicated tricks, because like the dirt around the rings made it so that like it wouldn't die out so easy, right? So and I tried it, and damn, it works, like it really does. And that's one of for if that fad ever comes back, you heard it here first, everybody. Okay. Yeah. Dragging the tiny rings on the dirt, and damn. So what makes it what made it kind of bad is that I went to school, I think the next day, and I was like, man, I got this tip that people should freaking know about, like, because it's amazing. And I remember taking my friend Chris Konishi, and he just got his, and it's like a brand new Jitter Ring. And there I am, like some punk kid, like I borrowed his Jitter Ring, and then he's like, what? And I'm like, watch this. And I dragged it into the dirt. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? I remember him getting so mad that he didn't even like let me like kind of showcase what I was trying to do. He just got so mad that he pushed me down. Because I was like, hey, let me show you something. And he's like, no, well, how dare you like drag my brand new Jitter through the dirt. Yeah. So I remember he didn't talk to me for like yeah, it's a good thing. Trust me on this one.
How is that good?
And I'm pretty sure from that point on, like, he hated me. So it was one of those, like, I was just trying to show you something cool, man.
Yeah. So apparently, I mean, if you go on YouTube, you can search up Jitter Ring.
Oh yeah.
And like there are a ton of videos, and apparently like the original the Jitter Ring that we knew was like a Bandai product.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so there are official like Bandai Jitter Ring videos, like demo videos, and like the guy he's wearing like fingerless gloves, and he's demonstrating all the things that you can do. Like I actually knew how to do kind of a lot of these things.
Yeah, me too. You know? Do the roller coaster, do the waterfall, do the halo.
Yeah.
Man,
there's
I gotta get one. I'll go
I
look
think
for
I
it.
still have mine somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, the welded one.
Yeah. I think eventually I got another one too. I don't know if somebody bought it for me or what, but I think I had two, and so I'm pretty sure I have at least the welded one and like the second one. There was also like a thing called a gyro ring, which was like slightly larger. And it was like the colored
oh yeah, I see those.
Yeah, they were like different colored kind of like those bolt things that were on it.
Yeah.
And it was like a little bit bigger. But yeah, I remember going to this had to have been like middle school time,
Yeah,
right?
96, 97.
Yeah.
Or 97, 98. That one of
Yeah,
those.
so I remember going to Oahu on like a field trip.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Polynesian Cultural Center, I think, and like pretty much everybody had one like on the trip, and so we were going around Polynesian Cultural Center, and all you could hear was like jitter rings, and so I'm sure like the workers there were so irritated. Like we're trying to do our thing, like we're trying to show you stuff, and all you can hear is like jitter rings. We're not interested in anything like at Polynesian Cultural Center.
It sounds like cicada season.
Yeah, basically. Like,
Oh, good times, man. I gotta go eBay one or something.
yeah.
How about you, Kahai?
Well, I was gonna say that's something that was jitter rings like a national thing, like,
I have no idea.
or was it really like
Yeah,
Hawaii?
I think people. I mean, if it did hit the area that you were in, it was either called a jitter ring or a chatter ring.
chattering?
Yeah, and then I think that the gyro ring might have been from Australia. So like Australians might know what we're talking about.
Wasn't the gyro ring the big colorful ones? Wasn't it like kind of plasticky? Like the
The
colored
outside,
rings
yeah,
around?
of the colored ring was kind of plasticky.
Yeah, because I remember trying that. I'm like, oh, it doesn't have the same feel because it's not like metal on metal, you know? Like
I think the inside of it
jitter.
might have been metal, but the outside was plastic. Yeah.
because I remember not liking
But,
it.
Yeah.
but it was like a different size, definitely, and it, yeah.
I think I did the jitter ring like because of my sister, and I still had it. And then I kind of remember, that's the thing about Hawaii is like fads kind of come and they go away. And then I think I was like maybe in high school or something, and then my younger cousins were like doing it too, and it's like, whoa, this is coming back. So every once in a while you'll see them pop back up. But yeah, that's another thing about Kauai too. The funny thing is that there's like fads that happen here or things that are very particular to Kauai. And then I never realized that it is like a very Kauai based thing. It's like I talk to, family or friends from Oahu, and then they're like, no, that we didn't do that. Like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh, really? It's like, okay, sure. I guess that is the one I think about is like Pronto Pops and flying saucers. Talking to my cousins on Oahu, and then them going like, what is Pronto Pops? And then explaining to them it's like a corn dog, but the batter is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought at least this was like a Hawaii thing in general, but I guess it's a Kauai thing only.
Yeah.
Did you go like, have you never been to a bond dance before?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't on Oahu. They don't sell that at Bundance.
Yeah. Almost like where it's like, okay, we have a flying saucer like maker at home. It's like we gotta bust it out. We gotta make some for these guys. They gotta try it. They gotta experience
Yeah.
it.
Or Gothenburg sausage.
Oh yeah, the flying saucers.
Yeah.
Like that flying saucer.
Yeah.
My wife, when I met my wife, I was like, oh, because she used to do odori, which is like that Japanese dance. So I remember like when she first came down in the summertime, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to bring you to a bond dance because I know you do like Japanese dance. And she's like, what the hell is a bond dance? I remember taking her. She's like, oh, obon. I was like, I don't know what the hell obon is, but this is a bond dance. You go, you dance, you eat flying saucers, like you do like you eat Pronto Pop. And she's like, I don't know what any of those words mean.
And then you said that like the motions that she knew for certain dances were the same, but like
Yeah.
in Hawaii it was very flowy. Like,
Yeah,
compared to-
it is. It like and we kind of dug a little bit deeper into it. Like a lot of it is like Okinawan style, kind of dancing rather than like odori. Like because odori is supposed to be very like not necessarily stiff, but very what's the word, like structured, I guess.
Yeah.
would be the word, because form and structure is like a thing, but here in Hawaii it's like a very flowy hula like
Yeah.
kind of dance. And I think it's definitely like mixed with hula. I think Hawaii people have kind of like adopted the obo and did their own kind of like hula like movements to it, so it's less structured here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a separate evolution when you take an animal and it goes to a different location and then it evolves separately. So it's like,
in Japan, it's like the thing you'll hear people play, or the traditional instrument is the samisen.
Mm-hmm.
But the original instrument from Okinawa is a sanshin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of similar, and it's kind of, you can kind of play it the same way. But that is where it's like here on Kauai, there's people who play the sanshin instead of playing the samisen, because it's like there's a Okinawan community here in Kauai too. So instead of like playing the Japanese version, kind of with everything, it's like, oh, there's like a little bit of Okinawan mixed in with this thing, So
did you go in the middle and be like, I got this, let me play drums, and you bust out the Karate Kid drums?
No.
You start like twisting that thing around.
Yeah. It's my nephew did taiko drumming. And it's funny, just like he did it because his uncle was like the one running kind of the taiko drum association, I guess. And but just watching him, and it's like a little kid who was forced to do it, and so he's like not having a good time at all, and he's just going through the motions. And it's like, oh man, get that kid out of here.
Those are the cutest though. Like, it's always like the tiny little drummers, like, because taiko in and of itself is like big drum, right? Like, that's what taiko means, right? So like seeing a tiny little kid like play the taiko drums is like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So did you have one, Kahai?
I was thinking more about things that are specific to Kauai, and it's funny because on the way back from just this weekend, you guys did your ukulele recital for the AG Academy. And then on the way back, we just passed somebody sitting on the side of the road, and my mom was like, oh yeah, that guy's having his lunch. And I was like, really? Because it was a guy husking a coconut and just eating it on the side of the road. And then I was like, yeah, that's pretty Kauai, where it's like, it didn't even faze me to like see a guy husking a coconut on the side of the road. It's just like, oh, he must have found it, and he must, he's just husking it, just going to town.
Where is it? Where was that?
It was like it's kind of on the side of the highway, and it was like it was kind of before the golf course too. So
I asked because it's just kind of like, did you see it like in like a big populated area where like they trying to like, hey, look, I'm gonna husk this coconut, you guys want some? Or like,
no?
Yeah, or the side of the highway.
It was just
like
the one guy with the one coconut.
Yeah,
it's even weirder.
And it's just like, it looks like a guy on a bicycle, and he just like stopped and just started husking a coconut. So I was like, yep, I guess that's it.
I need my electrolytes.
Yeah. It's like everybody's paying for the expensive coconut water from Costco, and then this guy's just like, let me just get it right here. I'll just break open this thing. But I was thinking about experiences that I feel like might be pretty unique to Kauai too. One of the things is that like our friend Ryan, his family ran farms, or still runs farms on Kauai, and they run banana farms specifically. They run a bunch of different farms, but banana is their big crop. And so I'm friends with one of Ryan's cousins, and I got to go to their farm, and I used to go all the time, and we would just play at their farm. And it's like, you can just run around in a banana field, and it's like playing in mud and doing all this kinds of stuff. But it's something that you don't realize, like people from the city, they might be like, what, you just played in banana fields? And I know like my dad and other family members, they're like, yeah, you just go and you climb the fence, and you can go into like a cow pasture, and you run around and you try and avoid the bulls or the angry cows. But yeah, it's not a big deal right here in Kauai. It's like, oh yeah, there's pastures everywhere. And even I looked up online recently, like to see if there was any archery fields. And I think one of the top comments was like, no, there's no archery fields. Like, best you can do is like, if you live close to a pasture, just go and walk into the pasture, or ask somebody if they have a big field next to their house, you just ask if you can use that too. So yeah.
Yeah, because where was that banana patch? Was it in like that Kapaya area?
They have one in Kapaa, right? And it's like across of where you live, Aaron. Yeah, like we used to go to that one too.
Oh, okay.
But
Kapahi.
But then they have one up Mauka, like up into the mountains.
Yeah.
And so when you go up there, it's like you have to go with a truck. There's not like clean roads or anything. And you might spend like half an hour to an hour just getting up there. But then once you get up there, it's just banana patches and like open land, or like we used to go up there to swim in like a stream and stuff. And even the stream had irrigation pipes like to running through the road to drive across the stream. And we used to go through the irrigation pipes like a slide too.
Yeah.
And they, we would say like, okay, go on the right side one, because the right side one is clear, but the left side one is caved in, so you can't go in there. If you go in there, you'll get stuck.
Yeah.
And I've been sucked into the left side one, and then I've had to be pulled out like a few times. But then it's like you still, even when that happens, it's just like, okay, just be careful, don't get too close to the left side one, just go through the right side one. The right side one is fine.
Yeah.
Don't they have like tours now?
Yeah.
Like tubing tours? That's basically that, like irrigation stuff.
Yeah, and in fact, that was like, I think Uncle Godwin, right, was one of the guys who said like, oh, somebody should just make a tour out of this. And then they did, and it became Kauai Backcountry Adventures. And they made way more money than him selling bananas.
Yeah, that's like some, like you would hear about experiences like that in like the American, like the South, the American South and stuff, and people kind of like, oh, we used to go in the back and play in the mud and dirt and like and go in the farm and stuff. But like that was pretty like a pretty normal experience here on Kauai. My friend Kaniho in middle school and in high school, like he had a pet pig in the back, and he lived right next to a valley. So I think they just caught one and just made it into a pet pig, And it was like a huge pig. It wasn't like a wild pig. I guess it was kind of wild, but it was like a huge pig. And I remember coming over to his house. He's like, dude, you want to wrestle the pig? I was like, hell yeah. So it was in a pen. It was in a pen, and I was a big wrestling fan, So we'd go in the pen, and we'd be like a wrestling ring, and I would wrestle the, and he and I would wrestle the pig. It was just a gigantic pig in the back, like next to the valley. And then it's like, oh, we should get like more pigs, and we should just like tag team like a pig. So that was some like pretty like weird stuff that we did like back then. But
yeah. And it's like that, you saying that, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm so shocked, like that's amazing. I've never heard of that before. We used to have a pet pig ourselves, and how we got it was Auntie Jan came to our house, and she was like, hey, I'm bringing bananas. She brought out a banana box, and in it was a baby pig. And she was just like, here you go, here you guys get to keep this baby pig. And so we named him Bananas because he came in a banana box. But I think it's like same thing with them. I think they just found a like baby pig, up on their farm somewhere, and then they're just like, okay, we'll take it, and we'll see if Auntie Mel wants it too, So it's like, I think even I'll give like a warning for people who want to turn this off, or not turn it off, but like maybe skip ahead. But even when our pigs got older and started getting aggressive, it's like my mom was talking to Auntie Jan, and she was like, oh, what do I do? And Auntie Jan was like, oh, you gotta cut off his thing, And then my mom was like, what? How do I do that? Do I take it to a vet? And then one of her coworkers was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll just come over after work and I'll do it for you. And so that lady and Auntie Jan came, And then my mom was like, what, you're just gonna do it? And she's like, yeah, just here. And my mom just stood on the side while they just did it. And then it's like, I think they're like, oh, you get one trash bag. And then Auntie Jan just held it open. My mom heard it go plop and tied it up and then threw it away. And then it's like, my mom's like, oh, do I gotta do anything about it? And they're like, nah, the pig will be fine. It's fine. It's done already. It's like, oh my gosh, okay.
Dude, that's crazy. Because there's back in like, okay, maybe skip ahead of this one also. that's just what people did back in the day. Some for like homemade neutering, I guess.
Yeah.
Like some people just like tie a rubber band. It's like around until it fell off. Man.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing. I guess it would cut off the
circulation,
the blood flow through it, circulation, and it would just like eventually like come off. But that's really it. It's just neutering the like neutering the pig or neutering or any kind of animal, right? And it's like it's a standard procedure. It's not really like back in the day. If you would go to a vet, like it would cost like a lot of money. Now like neutering and spaying, like they encourage you to do it, and most of the time it's free, or if not, it costs like $50. It's not that expensive. But back in the day, that procedure was kind of pricey. And people just did it like just did some homemade like neutering and that's what it was. I remember a bunch of people used to do it that way. Like I didn't. I was too young, but I remember that was a thing. Just tie it with a rubber band and then until it falls off.
Yeah. Because Auntie Jan guys, they have like their banana farm, but they also have animals too. And I guess I should say too, like having animals at your house at Kauai is like not a weird thing. And it's like right now I'm realizing like, oh, actually my family would be considered weird in a city because we have like, I think we have like 12 chickens in our backyard, and I also feed wild chickens and stuff like that too. But it's, it's not weird for us. It's just like, okay, it's our pets. We just have them. So, and it's not unheard of for, like you said, right? Like with Kaneo and his pig, where it's just like, oh, we caught a pig and we just have him now.
As a pet, yeah. Yeah, man, good times wrestling that pig. I forgot what the pig's name was, but it was awesome. I'm gonna have to ask Kaniho like when on Friday or something when I see him. It's like, remember when we used to wrestle that pig in your backyard? Good times, man. What else, Kahai?
What else? I don't know.
Or any fads? Because like because like that Jitter Ring one was kind of like because recently it's been like Kendamas, so I feel like that was our version of Kendama.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. Was the Kendama? The Kendama is a Japanese thing, and it kind of was popular in Japan, but it got really popular here in Hawaii. For like. It wasn't during our time. It was kids who are younger, right? But it kind of came and went. But I didn't realize, or I didn't think, was the kendama like popular in the mainland?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I remember the kendamas being like such a big thing that it became like a collectible, and kendamas were being sold for like hundreds of dollars, like a ball in a cup, basically. It's like a wooden ball in a cup. And I remember thinking that when someone's like, oh, this one is like a limited edition, it's like $300. I'm like, $300? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's kind of the thing. It feels like nowadays everything becomes a collectible, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the same thing as what has happened to your One Piece trading card.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Everything just becomes like it becomes like a eBay or whatever. You can sell it online for way more than whatever, just because it's in demand or limited edition.
Yeah. So a bunch of locusts, like that will go and suck the life out of a hobby, and then they move on to the next hobby.
Yeah.
I think the one that like everybody knows in Hawaii, right? Especially like I guess if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, is like Pogs, right? And
I was waiting for somebody to say Pogs.
It's and it's
milk caps for the mainland people.
oh, interesting. Pogs too. Like it came up with my sister, it went away, and then I also experienced it, and I feel like every generation it like kind of comes up and goes like through, right? Or I don't know, is it like when kids reach middle school, all of a sudden they're like, hey, we should get into this Pogs things, and they just find their parents' collections or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's like still passing on.
Yeah. So wait, so did you get into it?
Yeah. I don't know, and that's the thing too. It's like I kind of remember having some, and then I think I had some from my sister too, like from my sister's collection.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of trends and fads that happen in Hawaii elementary schools, it's like, it's cool, people bring it to school, and then as soon as it becomes a gambling problem, then the school has to ban it.
Ban
right?
it. The school bans it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
You cannot
that's the
play
thing.
for keeps anymore.
Exactly, right? Like that's what it's called. It's for Pogs, it's like you stack it up, and then if you can get however much you can flip, it's like you can keep those too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like some kids will start complaining. They're like, oh, it's not fair, you cheated, or don't use a slammer. You can't use a slammer to flip all the stack, so it's
or
like,
I sent my kid to school with like brand new Pogs, and they're all gone now.
yeah, exactly. I don't. It's interesting. It's almost like seeing, like pre-civilization, the invention of games. If you just give kids or you just give people something, eventually they're gonna be like, how can we turn this into a game of gambling, or a game where you can win more things, or yeah.
I remember getting into Pogs and same, like my parents never bought it and stuff, and I remember just having like some kids like giving me like whatever commons and stuff, but I was pretty good at doing it, and I managed to to build an entire collection just because I kept playing for keeps. It started from like maybe 5, 10, like, oh, I guess you can have this one, I have like doubles or triples or whatever. I'm like, oh, awesome. And then like to having like cases full, because I remember there was like that cylindrical plastic case like that goes with it. I remember I had several of those, and my parents, I don't think they've bought me a single Pog, but I ended up having like cases upon cases of full of Pogs back in the day just because I kept playing for keeps. And I remember being super sad when they banned it.
Do you still have some of those?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's like Pogs maybe 2nd or 3rd grade for me, and that's so long. That's at least 6 years ago, Kahai. No, it's I don't think so, because I moved to Koloa after like 4th or 5th grade, so I don't think that made it through the move. I lived in Omao and then I moved to Koloa, but I don't think my Pogs made it.
Yeah.
I remember collecting like old like Marvel cards. Like, I don't know if you guys remember those. But I collected that too, and I remember like, where the hell did my cards go? And I'm pretty sure during the move my parents were just like, oh, just throw those away, and like, where are they? And like, they're like, I don't know where they went, but guaranteed they threw them away. I'm on to you, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Pogs that I had, and it's like I said slammer, and the one I can remember that I had was like a metal slammer, and it was like a heavy metal, and of course it's like, if you use that, you can flip anything with that, right? You can flip like actual metal using that too. But I also remember it's like kids started, you take 2 Pogs and then you staple them together to make them heavier. And then it's like people are like,
or put tape around.
Yeah. It's like, you can't use those. Those are cheating, right?
Illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal slammers.
Yeah. Or it's like, okay, if you use that, I'm going to use this one. It has 3 staples in it. It makes it extra heavy. So it's just like, yeah, it's like kids always, want to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you're saying too, it's like you had none and you were able to get, a bunch. I think that kind of was the fun of it too. It's like that you could start off with nothing, and then by the end it's like, oh, I actually have a lot.
Yeah. I wasn't very good at Pogs, but I do remember when it first got popular, one of my older cousins said like, oh, it's getting popular now, and I know where you can buy them. So we went I remember one weekend, me and my cousin went to Mura store in Kauai. Now it's called Deja Vu, but it was like M Mura store, and they had the HIC, like the official, the first ones that were really popular, the HIC logo on a Pog, and we bought just like a handful of them from there, and then like over time, like my collection grew, not necessarily from winning them, but like from people giving them to me, and but I do remember having a metal slammer too, and it was because it was my cousin who lived on Oahu at the time. She went to Pearl City. I don't know if it was like elementary or middle school or high school. One of the schools made a metal Pog, and I think I still might have it. I think I have a binder that I have here at this house that has some Pogs in it. Like, they had the sheets. There was like the clear plastic sheets that you could fit Pogs into it. And so I'm pretty sure it's in there. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like binder sheets, huh?
Yeah, binder. Like I have a binder that has. And then, do you remember? We were just talking about this too. Like Dragon Ball had a game that was, I don't know how you played it, but they had like these circle discs that had Dragon Ball characters on it. And they were different sizes, and some of them were about the size of a Pog.
Yeah.
And so I have some of those too, but like they came in like weird sizes.
I do remember those.
That?
I don't know how to play it, but I remember those because I remember collecting a bunch of Dragon Ball stuff because they had cards as well. Back in the day. Yeah, I remember the circle cards.
Was it just cards, or was it?
I think so. I think they were just collectibles, like collectible cards that were just in circles rather than the regular like rectangles. But they had the rectangle ones too.
Yeah,
and they're all like super shiny.
I think I had like an auntie or uncle who went to Japan, and then they brought back those for me, and like I don't think I was into Dragon Ball at the time either, or I didn't really know what to do with them, but I think I kept them.
You never know, those might be worth money now.
Yeah, I should go look.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we were into, like it's worth a lot of money now.
Yeah,
especially like Pokemon and Dragon Ball and stuff like that,
My nephew is collecting Dragon Ball cards again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are awesome, man.
Yeah. My nephew calls my mom Bebop. So he's like, Bebop, can we go to the card shop? I want to show you where the Dragon Ball cards are. And by show you, it's like, can you buy me 5 packs of Dragon Ball cards?
Yeah.
That was the night I was helping you guys out at your guys' practice.
Yeah.
And after they picked me up, he was like, Uncle, I gotta show you my Dragon Ball cards. I got this one and this one. So excited. And then the thing I wanted to tell you, Aldrine, is like, it's like growing up, I like these things, and my parents were pretty supportive, and they're like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll get you manga or we'll get you these things.
Yeah.
But for him, his dad is into it, so his dad bought him the entire Dragon Ball box set just to get. And he's like, yeah, read that. And then he bought him the entire Dragon Ball Z box set too. So it's like,
it's awesome.
Oh man, you guys are lucky you have nerdy parents now.
How old is your nephew?
6.
Dude, that some stuff in there is pretty inappropriate for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Especially the first Dragon Ball, man. Because I had thought about like, hey, like I should read it because my kid is into reading. And then I read the first one. I'm like, my kid shouldn't read this.
There's a bunch of Sukebe characters.
Oh, I mean, Master Roshi.
Yeah.
Isn't like how Bulma finds Goku? Is he's like naked and he's fishing with his tail. He's using his tail to try and catch a fish too. So it's like, I kind of remember stuff like that.
Yeah,
where
first chapter, he's definitely butt naked, and like, and how they get like the 3rd or 4th Dragon Ball like through Master Roshi, because Master Roshi like had a Dragon Ball like that washed up in his island. And Master Roshi's like, oh, I'll give you this ball if you, I don't know, like, let me take a peek at your panties. And then, like, the joke was, like, Goku, like, took her panties off because, like, he's never seen, a woman before. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna sleep on, like, on basically her, like, her parts because he used to sleep in like his grandpa's parts, and he was looking for those parts. And he's like, what the hell, this isn't, it's all flat, it's not as bumpy as like grandpa's. So he took him off and he's like, whoa, that's like something very different. So she didn't realize it, and when Master Zoro, she's like, oh, I'll give you this Dragon Ball if you let me like kind of take a peek at your panties. And she's like, okay, just a peek. So she lifts it up, and then like and she didn't have any panties on, and Master Roshi got like a nosebleed. And that's like, dude, I'm talking like second, third, fourth chapter. Like, it's pretty early. And I read that, I was like, yeah, I think she was 7 at the time. I'm like, my 7-year-old kid shouldn't be reading Dragon Ball. But whatever, if it's a boy, I'm like, you know.
Yeah, or I feel like I cannot talk.
Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
Some Sukebe old turtle hermits.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, I feel like I cannot talk though, because it's like, I think I didn't read Dragon Ball, but Ryan's cousins, again, it's like the same, same group of people I like used to hang out with. Go over to their house and they had Dragon Ball on VHS, so we used to watch that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, when you're explaining what happens, it's like I knew exactly what you're gonna talk about, because it's like, yeah. And as a kid though, right, you see that and it's like, oh, ha ha ha, and you don't realize like kind of what the joke is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. I think even my brother, my brother-in-law, he was like, I didn't realize like people getting nosebleeds in like mangas is like a perverted thing. And it's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Do you remember when they were like they were doing that tournament, that first fighting tournament? It wasn't like the Budokai, but it was like so because they couldn't locate the last Dragon Ball, so they had to like go through like Master Roshi's sister, like who like was this witch, and she had like a magic crystal ball that could show like anything. But in order for her to do the divination, like they have to win this tournament, and they were fighting like an invisible man that they couldn't see. So like they were just getting beat up by like this invisible foe. So somebody got an idea that like to bring Master Roshi, and they lifted his head up, they made him look up, and then like then they pulled down like Bulma's shirt, and then he got a nosebleed, and then the blood from his nose like exposed the invisible man. Dude, Dragon Ball is a hoot. I love that manga, and that was like, that's how they beat the invisible man, is because like the blood that came out from Master Roshi's nose like made it so that they can see the invisible man.
Yeah. It's we talked about like early Shonen Jump right before, and I think that's the same thing where it's like I got in elementary school, and see, I was like reading Shonen Jump in elementary school, and kids, and they weren't like mean or anything. They're actually like my friends and like classmates, but they would make fun of me like, oh Kahai, that's not cool to read comics in school, or like, oh, that's not the cool thing, right? Trying to be like more, they're like, oh yeah, we don't watch cartoons anymore and stuff. But they're making fun of me until it's like they saw me reading and it's Naruto doing sexy no jutsu, and they're like, whoa, this is what you're reading, Kahai? This is so cool.
It's cartoon smut, Kahai.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's not really why I'm reading it, but sure, I guess that's what
Sure, Kahai, that's not what you're reading it for. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Sukebe. No, man. So I don't know, I'm trying to think of like other stuff that I was into growing up in Hawaii, but no, I don't know if I can think of anything Hawaii specific. But some of the other stuff that I kind of got into is I got into yo-yos as a kid, and then I forgot how to do it. Then we got into yo-yos as adults. I remember going to like, was that Downtown Disney with Kahai, and got a real yo-yo, and then realized that what I used to play with as a kid was not a real yo-yo. Because when we bought that yo-yo from Downtown Disney, that was the one that's like, it was like a real one that wasn't tied at the end. I remember just having a yo-yo that was tied and would just automatically come back up. And I remember getting like Yomegas back in the day. There was like butterfly Dunkins and stuff. Like, I used to be super into it, but never realized that I was just playing like the easy version of what yo-yos are. Now, like, I have friends who do like yo-yo competitions and stuff. A friend of mine, like Noel, is a like, I think it's like a yo-yo champion, like a world champion, or he competed at least in the world championships, and it's pretty insane. I was watching some of his videos. So shout out to Noel Coons, and he's amazing, and he does like all these yo-yo moves, and he's like he incorporates them into his show because he's a musician also. And he incorporates like his yo-yo to his show act. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because when Aaron was saying about going to Mira's at to get Pogs, I was just thinking, man, Mira's was the bad place for because that's where I got yo-yos too. And I think pretty much before the age of the internet, it's like any trend or hobby, they somehow got it over there, and so all the kids would flock to that store to buy whatever is the
latest trend.
I think Jitter Rings too. You could get it from there too. So it's like, I don't know how they were on the up and up, and they just like got in all the things that the kids wanted. So
yeah.
When did Mirrors close?
No, it just turned into Deja Vu because the family owns the same that company, so they just rebranded it as Deja Vu. But yeah, it's funny, like in Hawaii, a lot of the surf shops, it's because like Deja Vu and Mira's, it basically was like a surfwear store. So like they sold bodyboards, but they also sold like, you know, just like surfwear, Aloha print shirts and t-shirts that are like surfwear, board shorts, dresses and slippers and stuff like that. But they were always pretty on as far as like the trends, like the kids trends. They were always on. But yeah, like I remember one thing that I got into as a kid, like I picked up from Hanalei Surf Shop, and it was the snakeboard. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. So like that had to have been like 93 or 4. But yeah, I got pretty good at riding a snakeboard. So it was like pre-wave board, or what are the ones like rip sticks that you know?
Didn't snakeboards come back like in the early 2000s or like mid 2000s or something?
Yeah. It never really got good traction, but like like what a snakeboard is, it's like 2 platforms with like skateboard trucks on each platform, and it was connected by like a bar that connected the 2 platforms. So that would be for your 2 feet, and they would be able to swivel independently, and then you could move your feet in a way that it moved the skateboard itself like a snake. So it was branded snakeboard. But then I think later it was there were other companies that were making it, and they just like branded that category of skateboard as like street boards. So I think it was trying to break out as the street board niche, but it never really took off. And then and then later they made like it was like one-wheeled versions, like on each platform it was like one wheels, and it was that became like the ripstick and the wave board and stuff like that. But yeah, the original snake boards were they were so fun. And I think I got like an upgraded one like in high school, and in college. I think I bought it in college because the original snakeboard was all plastic. It was all made out of plastic, and then there was like grip tape on each of the platforms. And then I think I got like a one that was, at least the platforms themselves were made out of wood, like a regular skateboard. So yeah, I had like a bigger one, and I would ride that to class sometimes in college. But yeah. So back in the day, like in like 93 or something, we made the journey out to Hanalei just to pick up a snakeboard. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm kind of like laughing right now, and I'm tearing up a little bit, because I know that people say like, I never went to college, but I've heard like people say, "Oh, there's always that one guy who rides a unicycle to class." But instead, it was like, "Oh, there's always that one guy who rides his snakeboard to class."
Snakeboard, yeah. I would ride the snakeboard to class, and I would like bring my fluke to class sometimes too, like my fluke ukulele.
Man.
So yeah, I was definitely that weird kid that
You're
like
too cool.
yeah, like, and I had
Snakeboard
no
and
idea. I had no idea how lame I was.
Oh man, save some
I
cool
thought
for
I
the
was
rest
really
of us,
cool.
Aaron.
Yeah, I thought I
don't
was,
get all the girls now.
yeah.
You sound exactly like the person who I would see come into class, and I would be like, I want to be friends with that person.
Yeah, it takes a certain type of person to want to be friends with that.
The other thing I'm laughing at too, right, is I think I don't know if you said this on the podcast, but I think we've talked about it like in person with our friends and stuff, where it's like, you know, people go to college and then they're like drinking coffee, black coffee, and you said you had a mug, but instead it was hot chocolate in it, right, or something.
Or sometimes it was just chocolate milk. Yeah, I had like it was like basically a one of those stainless steel tumblers that people use. They put their coffee in, and half the time it was like Ovaltine.
Oh my gosh, it's like, oh, there goes cool Aaron with his snakeboard under one hand and his chocolate milk on the other.
Ovaltine.
Yeah.
It's an Ovaltine commercial, if I ever seen one, right? Just snakeboarding to class, sipping his Ovaltine,
Yeah.
jamming on his fluke.
Yeah. And building Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theater in my dorm
yeah.
room.
Oh, hide your daughters, everybody.
Yeah.
Hide your daughters. Aaron Nakamura's on his way.
Yeah.
I imagine you having the snakeboard over your shoulder and going up to other people and going, "Hello, fellow kids. What's going on?"
Aw.
Yeah.
I rode around in a Sector 9 skateboard. Like, it wasn't
Like a
school, it was
longboard?
Snakeboard. Yeah, like a longboard. So Sector 9s were a thing. I mean, I had a regular skateboard also, but I took class because like the wheels were bigger and they were easier to just kind of ride on, and you would normally do tricks on them and stuff. So that was like my kind of cruise board. But I'm like 41 now. Like I don't think I could even step on one, although that was like my main mode of transportation back in the day. I remember my kid asking me like, "Hey dad, can you teach me how to skateboard?" I'm like, "No, hell no." Like, I'm not gonna go on top of a skateboard. Are you kidding me? You know, ask your cool Uncle Aaron maybe.
No, I don't think I ever really learned how to skateboard because I
like-
was so into snakeboard.
Yeah, teach her how to snakeboard.
yeah,
Aaron.
yeah.
I don't even want to step on that thing, you know. Like, and my wife was like, "Oh, maybe just like the big one, like a Sector 9 and stuff." I'm like, I'm just not jumping on one of those anymore. You know, like I could hurt myself. Like I didn't really think about it back in the day, because I still played ukulele professionally while I was in college. So one fall and like, you know, and I would be canceling shows for like the next couple months, you know.
Yeah, but at that point, like when you're in your 20s, you feel like you're invincible. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a car. I rode the bus everywhere. So like, paired with my skateboard, either the longboard or the regular shortboard. That was kind of how I got around.
Aaron, like for you guys ukulele classes, he like brings his bike, right, and you park and then you ride your bike to the actual place, right, Aaron?
yeah,
It's like you gotta dig up that snakeboard, and then it's like it becomes a thing where it's like you become noticeable, and then people are like, "Oh, there goes Aaron riding his snakeboard to ukulele class."
I wish I had it. I wish I had it still. It would be fun, but yeah, I think I had it in college. I brought it back to Hawaii. When I was on Oahu, I was working at a tutoring center. And then one of the kids that I was tutoring, he was in high school, and he was like, "Oh yeah," like I was telling him about the snakeboard, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And then when I left Oahu, I gave it to him. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
But well, like with your knowledge now, you could probably build one, right, for yourself.
No,
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I think you would have to get at least the parts for it because the swivel was pretty smooth.
Yeah, but you're into those kind of challenges and those kind of build stuff. I mean, if you're building Mystery Science Theater in your dorm room, you at this age, you know, could probably build your own snakeboard, right?
I don't know. I don't imagine that they're very very much in demand, so you might be able to just get one, right?
I was gonna say, guys, I looked it up. And there's competition snakeboards.
Oh, damn.
Like,
sounds like another thing to add
Where
to our
are
shop,
these
gentlemen.
competitions?
yeah.
Yeah.
Snakeboards, so for snake oil, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you can sell snake oil for your snake board.
Yeah.
To make it run smoother. We would have literal snake oil.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, there you go. So it's not just, we're not just saying that we're gonna be selling snake oil. We will be actually selling snake oil, but it's just regular, you know, like
Snakeboard oil.
snake board oil. But the board part is in parentheses.
In one of the episode I just worked on, we were talking about getting money from Patreon to buy the PPPod domain, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, can we make a Patreon goal where it's like, if we hit 1,000 patrons, we'll get Aaron his snakeboard, we'll get Aaron his competition snakeboard.
How much did those run?
Oh, they're not even that expensive.
How much did those run?
It's like $150.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Like a regular a regular skateboard nowadays is like about that much, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I had. The snakeboard stiffy is like $289 right now.
So you'd ride into class on a stiffy,
Yeah.
carry your fluke. Oh,
It's
too
so
cool.
it's so heavy. It wasn't practical at all. But
Don't you want to recreate your college days, Aaron, where it's like you're riding to the AG Academy with your fluke in one hand and riding on your snakeboard?
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, like with seeing the prices.
I didn't know they were this cheap. You mean I can
Yeah.
still do that?
That's less than another ukulele.
Aaron with fluke in one hand on the snakeboard, holding his cup of chocolate milk, chocolate Ovaltine, and then he has a jitter ring around his neck too. Oh, coolest person.
We should have an art competition for our patrons. Like whoever can draw that picture the best gets a month of our Patreon.
Some people are saying like, oh, it'd be cool if this was like a live stream or there's something, you know. Can you imagine it's like the first live stream we do, but then it's like, okay guys, we're doing a Jitter Ring live stream. We're just gonna do Jitter Rings the whole time.
That's all you hear.
Yeah.
It's the cicada episode.
Yeah. The whole time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, we've gone kind of overtime, but
Yeah.
I did want to sneak in one more thing. Like, when I was in middle school, I was introduced to mini discs. So like, I kind of want to sneak that in because I don't think I don't know what episode I would be able to talk about it ever again. You know?
Go for it.
But yeah, so like I'm pretty sure it was like 8th grade, and then one of my friends in school came back from Japan and she had a mini disc player, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever because it was basically all of the greatest things for like, because CDs were super popular at the time, but it was like the combination between a CD and a cassette tape, right? Because like I liked cassettes because you couldn't scratch them and they were smaller and more portable. And then CDs were like higher fidelity, and so it was like the best of both worlds, plus you could record. So like I would borrow my friends' CDs and then I would just like plug in my mini disc player and then I could record the songs that I wanted off of that CD onto a mini disc. It was basically the best best of what cassettes could do and the best of what CDs could do put together. And I was like super convinced that this was gonna be the next medium, right?
It's gonna revolutionize music.
Yeah, it was obvious. Like it was like 8-track. It was like vinyl, then 8-track, and then cassettes were an upgrade from 8-track, and then CDs were an upgrade from that. And so it was like the obvious evolution of what music media was gonna be. And then all of a sudden MP3s came out, and I did I think one of my friends, like I got the first edition, or like one of that first generation mini disc, like Sony mini disc Walkmans. And I think the generations after that were sort of incorporating MP3s into that. Like there were like I forget what they were called, but they were you could fit a lot more information onto one mini disc, because they had like players that had better compression technology, and basically they were just bundling MP3s, right? And then able to like record. It was like a MD, I forget what it was, but yeah, so like I had friends that had the new mini disc versions too, and I was like, oh yeah, see, it's just like evolving with the times. And then MP3 players just like blew them out of the water, and they never got traction.
Yeah, I think I would want to come back to this and talk about like old technology that we kind of miss.
I guess so. Yeah, we could do a full separate episode on that. But I was thinking about it just because of like how we were talking about how everything becomes like eBay dig, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess, or maybe that can be an episode in of itself, right? Like things that you miss or you want, and now because it's like not made anymore, or it's like more rare, it's hard to find, and you can only find on eBay.
Yeah, because at the time I was just using recordable mini discs, and I never bought, I think they were available, but I never bought a mini disc that was produced and like released by an artist. But a lot of those, if you go look on eBay now, like they're ridiculously priced because they were so rare. Not too many artists released music in that format, and so like they're really rare. One
of the things that I've heard is like that the reason why the mini disc didn't catch up like here in the States, and it was actually big in Japan and big for like a long time, but they had like stores where you could borrow mini disc, but that was a thing, right? Is like because every mini disc you could record the mini disc itself, people would record to like another disc and then just end up keeping it. So it's like you kind of like phase yourself out of a business where it's like people don't want to rent anymore because they just own all the discs themselves too.
Yeah. So even that too, I would go like our local library would have kind of a lot of CDs and cassette tapes, and I would just like borrow those from the library and then just put it onto mini disc. And I actually had a mini disc deck for my car. So when I was in high school, I think I started driving at like 15, 16, and then my dad bought me like a old Mazda 323. It was like from the 80s, and I installed a Sony mini disc deck into my car, and so I would play mini discs in my car, and yeah, now that deck is probably worth more than the car.
Jeez. Did you have any like albums? Like I know you said that they're like super expensive now and stuff, and you didn't really buy them, but did you end up like, or did you buy at least like one or a few of them?
No.
Or you only use the recordable ones?
Yeah, I only recorded, so I don't own any mini discs from like an actual artist. But I don't actually remember seeing them, not like, you know, at Borders or anything.
Yeah, they weren't really a thing.
Yeah, you might have had to special order them because it was basically me and my small group of friends that even had mini disc players on Kauai.
Dude, my friends like I used to be part of the manga artist club.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, those basically a bunch of people who were just like big like fan of Japan things.
Yeah.
Like they had a bunch of mini disc players, and I remember seeing it. I'm like, the hell, like those, what the hell are those things, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, they used to be like super smug about it, like, oh, you wouldn't know. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it felt like, you know, when my friend first came back with one.
Yeah.
And I was so jealous, and so so that became my entire life for a while.
Mini disc, yeah.
Saving up to buy one, and buying. I would go online. There was a website called minidisco.com, and I would go on and buy collector edition mini discs that you could record on. So I have kind of a lot of those.
It was big in Japan. Is that what it was? But it wasn't that big here in America. But I guess you could get stuff here in America, but just people didn't want to bother with it, or it was a medium that nobody used.
Yeah. You basically had to order a lot of that stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was using my parents' credit card and paying them back and stuff. So
some of the people in the manga artist club like would go to Japan and stuff. I remember I was dating this one girl, and this producer that I work with here on Kauai. She was also under his tutelage, I guess, and he took her to Japan, and she came back with one of those like mini disc players and a bunch of mini discs, like to go along with it, you know. And yeah, because some of the people in the manga artist club had them. So when she went, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pick myself up one." I'm like, and I remember I was dating her at the time. I'm like, really? That you want to spend money on that? Okay.
The funny thing is, like, I don't know if I've ever actually seen a mini disc player or a mini disc itself, but how I know about it is from manga. I think in manga they talk about it, and then they're like, "Oh, I made you a mixtape on this mini disc. Can you listen to it?" And so I think I saw it there, and I was like, what the hell is this mini disc? And I looked it up, and it's like, oh, actually, this is pretty cool. Like, I think this is cooler than CDs. But yeah, here in America, it went straight from CDs to MP3s. It didn't catch on.
No.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I liked about it too. It kind of brought back that cassette culture of making mixtapes for people. And so at least one of my friends I've made like several mixtapes for, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, just give me your stuff, and what do you want? And then I made it and put things in specific order so that, you know, it flows in a way.
It tells a story.
Yeah. I think where the mini disc actually kind of became popular in America too was for recording concerts, live concerts. Because some mini discs came with microphones like built into the headset, and so you could record live music too, or like people would like use it like if you make a mix CD or a mix track, right, and you can like mix cassette, you can like leave a message going like, hey, this is for you.
Yeah,
we'll definitely revisit it too, because now I want to talk about, like, you guys remember Zunes and the great thing about the DS and all these technologies where it's like there's things that never took off, but it's like, oh man, I really wish that they did, or there's things that I really like from each of these things.
Yeah.
I just took a group picture of a bunch of friends on our 3DS, and we shared it within 3DSs.
Oh yeah.
Because it had a camera, yeah. So, and it actually has a 3D camera, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's potato quality, of course. But it just the fact that like it could do like 3D pictures, pretty sick. So funny you should mention that. It was pretty recent. I think like last week we took a 3D picture.
Nintendo made the 3DS and then realized that the worst thing about the 3DS is the 3D, so they just took it off and made the 2DS, right? It's like,
dude, it's cool though. I used to dig it. I still do. I still play it 3DS.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to talk about the DS days and like bringing a DS to school. And if you have other people who have DSs, oh, it's so fun.
All right, I think that's it's past our time, everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us ramble about random things from Kauai and elsewhere. But yeah. Kahai, you have like the Patreon
Yep.
info.
If you want to sign up for our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/PPPod. You can also look up all our information. I think we just started getting our podcast on Apple Podcasts. So if you guys want to listen there, you can. But we also have a YouTube and Instagram. And if you want to find all of those links, go to bigpppod.com. Yeah, that is our URL. And I guess like for a question for the audience, right? We should say, let us know what was hobbies or things specific to your area that you never heard anybody else mention, right? Or like you found out that is like, oh, this is very localized to my experience.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.